Have you ever just stopped and thought about all the hidden forces that are quietly, running the show in your daily life? The things that are influencing your mood, your stress levels, your happiness, without you even noticing? Well, today, we're going to peel back the layers on the most powerful and honestly, the most overlooked influence of them all, your environment. I mean, do you ever have those days where you just feel off, stressed out, maybe a little unfocused, and you can't for the life of you figure out why? It's a super common feeling. And the answer might not be inside your head. It might be all around you, in the room you're in right now, the sounds you're hearing, the whole community right outside your door. So when we talk about environment, it's so easy to just picture, mountains and oceans. But the sources we're digging into today define it way more broadly. It's your physical space, sure, but it's also the noise in the background, the quality of the air you're breathing, and, this is a big one, the social fabric of your life. It's really the entire stage where your life plays out. Okay, so let's try to reframe this. Let's think of your environment not as some passive background scenery, but as something much more active. Let's call it what it is, the unseen architect. It's constantly building and shaping your well-being. And this is the really crucial point here. Your environment isn't just there. All of these inputs, the good and the bad, they directly mess with your body's stress response. It's a dynamic force, right? It's like this constant conversation between you and your world that can either lift you up or really weigh you down. So let's start with the most immediate environment, the one we actually have the most control over, the physical spaces we live in every single day. This right here is basically a simple blueprint for a better state of mind. And the psychology behind it is just fascinating. Aesthetics, for instance, isn't just about having pretty things. Our brains are actually hardwired for order. So when things look nice and harmonious, it literally reduces our cognitive load. And organization? Well, that gives us a sense of control in a pretty chaotic world, which brings down stress. And don't even get me started on natural light. It's a powerhouse. It directly syncs up our internal clocks, which improves everything from sleep to how productive we are. But of course, our well-being doesn't just stop at the front door. The second we step outside, we run into a whole new set of environmental forces. These are kind of the invisible forces at play. Bad air quality doesn't just mess with our lungs. It can actually impact our emotions and our ability to think clearly. That constant noise from traffic or construction, it's not just annoying, it's a chronic stressor. But the flip side is so powerful. Having access to nature acts like a genuine healing tool. It's a way to find some renewal and just build up our resilience. And this is where you can really see the contrast. Urban environments, with all the noise, the congestion, that super fast pace, they often crank up our stress levels. Natural environments, on the other hand, do the exact opposite. They offer serenity, renewal, a space to just slow down. The point here isn't that one is bad and one is good, but it's about understanding their effects, so we can try to find some balance. All right, let's shift gears a bit. We're moving from the physical to the personal, because our environment is also made of people, of our connections and our community. I absolutely love this quote from the source material. It's so direct, right? Our social networks aren't just for having fun. They are a literal defense mechanism. They're our buffer. They boost our resilience and our happiness when we're up against challenges. So, what are the pillars holding up a healthy social environment? Well, first up is a sense of belonging, that feeling of being seen and valued. Then there's safety, which gives us the confidence to actually go out and engage with the world. And finally, as the research shows, these foundational supports like healthcare and a stable childhood, they are not just nice to haves. They are absolutely essential for our well-being throughout our entire lives. Okay, so we get the impact now. The big question is, what do we do about it? Well, the great news is, we're not just passive victims in all this. We can take control. We can become the architects of our own environment. So here's the action plan. And notice how it builds from the inside out. It starts small and personal, right? Just decluttering your own space. Then it expands outward to connecting with your community. It even applies to your professional life, when you optimize your workspace. And finally, it scales all the way up to the civic level, where we can advocate for policies that create healthier environments for everyone. Each step just builds so powerfully on the last. And hey, becoming the architect doesn't always mean you have to make some grand gesture. The real, lasting change, that often comes from the small, consistent things you do every single day. So what does that look like day to day? Well, these practices are all about creating stability and positivity. Routines create predictability, which actually calms our nervous system.
Healthy habits, they fuel your body and mind. Building trust strengthens that social barrier we were just talking about. These aren't just one-time fixes. They're ongoing practices that create this awesome upward spiral of well-being.
So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question. After everything we've talked about, from the light in your room to the community you live in, what is one small, tangible change you can make starting today to become the architect of your own well-being? Think about it. The power really is in your hands.